Let me welcome you to this 19th lecture in the UP Expert Lecture Series. I'm Robin Crew, the director of the Centre for the Advancement of Scholarship, and it's a very great pleasure for me to be attending. Welcome to the lecture this afternoon, and I would now like to ask Professor Delaray to say a few words about this lecture series and to introduce Professor van Onselen to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Professor Robin Crew. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure for me to also welcome you to this expert lecture. Our distinguished scholar this evening, who will be presenting his perspectives to us, is Professor Charles van Onselen, who is a renowned historian, a prize-winning author, and an NRF A-rated scholar. So, Professor van Onselen, it is indeed a sincere pleasure to have the opportunity to work with you as one of the scholars at the University of Pretoria, and I look forward to your address this evening.
Good evening. Madam Vice-Chancellor, thank you very much indeed for your kind words, extremely flattering. They're of course very difficult to follow because you raise expectations and then the disappointment is all the greater afterwards for those who you've invited. But there's something that I have on my chest which I'd like to get out of the way before we start with the formal business. Many years ago, I worked at the western end of Jorrison Street in Johannesburg. I was housed in a building surrounded by funeral parlours and close by the Braamfontein Cemetery. Eventually, I got the point and I moved to the University of Pretoria. That was when I became an academic orphan in 1999. And the University of Pretoria most kindly took me in. It was probably the best move I've made in my life. I would like to emphasize how generous, how encouraging, and how supportive the University of Pretoria has been of my research and my writing over many years. I would like to issue my most sincere thanks to them. And I would like to say to anybody here who knows of an aspirant social scientist or someone working in the field of the arts and humanities, that if you're looking for a good scholarly home that is supportive of serious research, you will be more than welcome and thoroughly at home in the University of Pretoria. Thank you. Now let's get to the business. The title of this lecture derives from Somerset Maugham's sublime aside that in the late 19th century, the Côte d'Azur was a sunny place for shady people. Maugham might as well have been writing of Johannesburg or Lorenzo Marx. My objective is to demonstrate to you how two social regimes that are geographically and economically contiguous, the one Protestant and the other Catholic, articulated in ways that linked the history of working class leisure in industrializing Southern Africa between 1886 and World War I. Our focus then will be on the Portuguese colonial Mozambique and the Transvaal Highveld. Now let's start by taking a look at pre-industrial Southern Africa's strategic siting and take a glimpse of the globe. Now imagine for a moment you were seated in a spacecraft, locked in position hundreds of miles above Southern Africa and looking out of the window.